Presented by That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster, this is Shonen Jumping the Gun, the show where we set our sights on the first chapter of a manga and decide if it's a misfire or a bullseye.
Let's see how many rounds are in this magazine.
On today's episode, fresh out the oven, it's Yakitate, Japan. Welcome, everybody. I'm your gluttonous gluten guzzler, Moxie the Yeen, here with my cantankerous co-host, Isekai Sensei-Sama Brad. Brad, how you doing?
If it doesn't go with Nata, it doesn't work.
I don't want Nata it. I don't think that guy's that good at puns. And welcome, everybody, to the new arc. Welcome to Kraftwerk's arc. Kraftwerk. This has nothing to do with the experimental German synth band. I just thought that was funny. I'm going to still call it the Kraftwerk's arc, but this is the Kraft arc. So this is, I guess, sports arc adjacent. These are crafts, skills, hobbies that people do and then make manga about.
Yeah.
So maybe it's performance-based. Maybe it's food-based.
This more than any other arc that we've done in quite a while, this one has a coherent through line.
Unifying, coherent through line.
We're not going to learn anything. We already know.
We could learn things. Oh, we're going to learn things about the crafts. We're not going to learn... Much like the Seinen arc where we learned we don't know what the fuck a Seinen is. This will not...
Seinen.
Thank you. I know, too late now. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody. It's way too late. In fact, it's all been recorded and released by a month ago by the time you're hearing this. Maybe not that. We will learn things about the various crafts, which is why part of this is the education. Maybe that's what we should have, an education ranking for these chapter ones. Did we learn something already?
Yeah. This one might be number one.
Oh, okay, interesting. I got to think about that more. And we are starting out with Yakitate, Japan, also known as Freshly Baked Japan. This one is about, surprise, baking bread.
And let's just be very clear immediately. In Japanese, pan means bread. So it's a pun. Japan.
Yeah.
Japanese. Yeah.
It's cute. I think I like it. It's simple enough. It's wordplay that I understand as an English speaker.
No, it works.
But yeah, of various things, will not all be food-based. I'm just going to put this call out now. It will not be added to this arc. I really wanted a craft that was like a trade, like construction or carpentry, and I could not find one, or at least I could not find one that seemed like it was what I wanted.
There's an Isekai I know. You wouldn't like it.
Okay.
Probably not.
There was a couple that were like...
If we get desperate.
There was a couple that were adjacent, but they weren't from chapter one. They weren't enough of it by paging through, but I still want one that is like a builder trick. Because I really thought that like, construction workers show up all the time. I know those helmets. They're so iconic in Japanese like media. There must be one about being a manga about being a construction worker. There's got to be stories there. And I mean, I couldn't find one, but that just means, that one was written, somebody noticed it in English, read through it, and decided to fan translate it, and then put it up here, and then people needed to talk about it, so it would show up in Google, so that when I Googled for it, or that people would, like, it's not even just that it existed, it needs to exist and be translated enough. It needs to exist, be translated enough, and then be popular enough, and then those people need to be on Reddit to tell other people asking about it 5 years ago that it exists and go look at it. So maybe they exist, and I just don't know where to look to find them.
Yeah, I think construction...
If they're ever even in English.
It's generally, like, just supporting.
But I think there's like of what you're building, or even if it like, that's why I said like I always move to like carpentry or maybe like painting. Like I don't want to just like, some of these are creative based trades, crafts, but I wanted one that was more like putting my hands to these things. Yeah. We have I think one this arc that I feel like fits that got the closest to what I wanted. But we'll get there when we get there.
There is that one video game that has Japanese construction workers in it.
The battle construction vehicle. Yeah. I don't know if there's a manga version of that. We should see if there's a manga. I think it only exists as a video game. Maybe we'll put a bonus episode of us playing that.
I'd be down.
I'd play that. Gosh, that dub is
legendary. We do need to do something for our 100th subscriber on YouTube.
Ooh. You know what?
We're very close to that.
I would do we have a TV. I'm sure your laptop could handle a PS2 emulator playing Battle Construction Vehicle, whatever the heck it's called. I think we could do that. I think that we could make that happen. I'm getting distracted. We're talking about making bread. We're talking about the hands of God. Oh, my information. Yes, I should probably do that. Yakitate Japan was written by Takashi Hasiguchi, who had other works, but I didn't recognize, so he drew and arted it. This ran in Weekly Shonen Sunday from December 2001 to January 2007 for 26 volumes, and also got a 69 nice episode run of anime, which I think I've seen the first episode of, or saw some of. A million years ago, somebody told me I should watch this.
I definitely have heard the name of this before. I think I vaguely knew that it was about bread, but when I went to reread this, I did not remember that that's what it was about.
Japan, Yakitate. Freshly baked Japan. Give me one moment.
You mean Yakitate?
Yakitate!
This title contains not one, but 2 exclamation points.
It's not as many as Keijo. That was like 7.
This is more serious than Keijo.
This is more serious than Keijo. Bread, cake, relation point. Okay, whatever. Time for
bread is life.
Bread is life. Gluten. Oh wait, I'm saving that gag for later. Welcome to my Moxie's patented manga Mach Speed summary. An old codger shouts, "Delicious! Even better than number 54!" after taking a bite into some bread. Various other family members at the table say their favorite number. Grandma asks our protagoon, Kazuma, what he called the latest one.
Kazuma des.
It's number 55, Japan. Story 1, The Road to Japan. We now see Kazuma all packed to leave at the train station. He's headed to the best bakery in Tokyo, and his family is seeing him off. I can't believe we've been eating bread for breakfast for 10 years. What is this, England? Where are the beans? I guess I'm eating cereals, a kind of a bread.
Natto is soybeans.
Yeah, you're right.
Beans on toast.
Beans on toast. B is on toast. Jump back 10 years. Kazuma is only...
Cut back to 10 years ago.
Cut back. Jump back. I made sure to say jump. There'll be more cuts in the future, I'm sure. Kazuma is only 6. We are shown their very typical, we are told, Japanese home. No Western nonsense here, a sentiment greatly held by Grandpa, who laughs at his granddaughters asking for bread for breakfast. Kazuma likes the rice they eat. Bread makes his mouth dry, which... Ooh, wrong answer. Kazuma's sister, for getting it wrong, ties him to her bike as they speed off to get some primo bread.
By the way, the domestic abuse that his sister doles out on him is a little extreme.
It's a very of an era. I swear there's other things where somebody gets tied to a bike. Like, this is not the first time I've seen this in a manga, but I could not remember where else I'd seen it. But I know I've seen it multiple. Like, it did not... It found me like an old nostalgic friend, even though I thought in that moment, it's like, she's just beating the shit out of him.
Well, even earlier, or later, because it's after this flashback, when he's leaving on the train... She threatens him with violence again.
She's one of those. We're in the early to mid 2000s. This is the era of the older sister who's going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
What a time. Here at St. Pierre's Bakery, Kazuma sees all the wonderful bread creations and meets the baker. But he still doesn't get it until his sister shoves a loaf of bread into his mouth, which he munches down quickly. So yummy.
Violently. She shoves
and she gets bit.
An entire loaf of bread in his face. The getting bit, I did enjoy that because she got some comeuppance.
The baker offers to show them how bread is made, but dang, I'm going to be late for school. The sister exits, leaving little Kazuma behind, who watches the chef make bread.
I guess, do 6-year-olds not go to school in Japan?
This one doesn't. They do live on a farm, so they could be further out. They're kind of in a small town, Sticks town. We learn
Try
of the
that
ingredients.
in a small town.
We learn of you just leave your little brother with the chef that lives down the street.
Yeah.
Sure, he's fine. He's got trained in France. He's fine. We didn't learn that yet. I'm going to shut up. But come on, St. Pierre's. We learned of the ingredients, the salts, the yeasts, and such to make the dough, all the kneading that goes into it, and the various chemical reactions that make it grow and rise. This is the problem with some of these summaries you will find that I wrote have floated over some of the things you would learn if you were reading it. I've actively removed the craft learning parts from the summaries.
This is the actual learning part of this manga.
And it's interesting.
Yeah.
You can go read it. I'm not going to tell you how bread works.
You should go read it.
It's one chapter. It's free. You can read it on the Viz app, which is where you should read it, as opposed to my co-host who didn't know that and read a really bad fan translation.
It wasn't really bad.
It was somewhat bad.
We'll talk about it.
Fairly bad. I would have said it was bad.
For 2 minutes, I'll talk about it.
The baker asks if he likes bread, and he says he does. Just now he changed his mind, but he still likes rice more. The baker likes rice a lot too. Rice might be tasty, but bread is fun to make. His dream is to make a bread that the Japanese would like more than rice. Japan. Japan for Japan. This is what I'm making. Brad told me when he read a fan translation that the line where he's describing.
We'll talk about it later.
Japan for the Japanese people. A bread for the Japanese people. Japan. And that it was just Japan. He trained in France to be a baker and opened up his first shop here in his hometown, but it's not going well. Bread just doesn't sell well here. Kazuma declares he will help make Japan and help the shop succeed and runs off home. The baker notices something about the bread. Could that child be? Kazuma has his mom make a bread-based breakfast. Wow. Also, how does she know how to make bread if bread's so not breading? And Grandpa freaks out. I'll try it out, but are you crazy? I still need my natto and miso soup, which he puts on the bread and doesn't like. Maybe because they don't go together taste-wise, Grandpa. If you want your dream to work, you need to bring me a bread that works with natto and miso soup. We learned Grandpa was around during the war and remembers the not great bread the Americans handed out. He wanted to make rice, as delicious as he remembered it from when he was a kid, and he has on their farm. Back at the bakery, Kazuma, the baker, and his sister think about how they could make a bread more fitting for Grandpa. Japan will only be created when people like Grandpa like it. They make the bread again, but instead of milk, a secret ingredient is used. We then learn more about the baking process. Again, it's reference. Kazuma might be special. He might have those hands. Back at home, Grandpa is once again being difficult about trying the new bread. It's not rice. But after a bite, he's in heaven. A bread made for you, Grandpa. Kazuma runs back to the bakery to share the news, and the baker is outside. Kazuma asks for the secret ingredient and is told it was soy milk. Natto and miso soup are all made from soybeans, so it played together better. But it also came from your magic hands, Kazuma, your hands of the sun. We learned hands are usually a set temperature, not enough to cause fermentation, but your rare warm hands do. We also learned that the baker is leaving for Tokyo. He was too scared before to go there, but seeing Kazuma's hard work inspired him that he could make it. Will they ever cross paths again? We're back in the present. Kazuma has been working on many Japan experiments, up to 55 now, and now he's in Tokyo to continue that journey. He's arrived at Pantasia for an exam, but already 5 minutes late. That's a deduction. Many others are there for the exam too, and everyone might not make it. Things aren't looking good. End of chapter 1. This feels very jumpy now that I'm rereading this summary again.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's not a jump. It was weekly Shonen Sunday.
That's pretty close.
Different though. Similar but different.
So yeah, I thought this was too old to have an official version, and so I read the scanlation, which I will say it wasn't bad, but there was a specific part where the baker was talking about his dream to create Japan, and the scanlation did a very, very poor job of being clear about what he was actually saying. In the official translation, he says, I want to create a bread for the Japanese people. It's Japan. And there's like a dash in.
To make the pun clear.
It's so much clearer.
I say subtle, but like in a good way that doesn't feel like you're being hammered over the head with it.
Yeah. Now, of course, I mean, at this point, I'm definitely not going to read the rest of the scanlation because there's no point.
There's an official version that you can pay money for to go read. But this first chapter, you don't need to pay money because the first 3 chapters are free.
But yeah, just to say, like, definitely get the official version of this. It is better. Something interesting here. The whole thing about his hands being warm, I mean, that is a real thing.
I assumed it was a real thing because of how much specific they were about the making of bread, and
Yeah.
that seemed fairly grounded. And this didn't. There was something about him specifically referencing them talking about it in France that made me believe it more for some reason.
What's funny is there's an opposite version of this.
Oh, there's cold hands.
Where
the hands of the moon.
I believe it's confectionery, where if you have cold hands, it works so much better because your hands won't like melt the chocolate or whatever.
Ooh, I love that. We need a sister series of the chocolatier. I don't know how to make that a
I'm
pun,
sure there is one,
Japanese or otherwise. Ooh, a chocolate maker. That'd be a good Kraftwerks too. Duh.
But in case you couldn't tell, I enjoyed this.
Bread. I want to eat bread. I say that all the time. I feel like it's done its job because just reading this summary now, I really just want to go eat bread right now very badly.
I want Japanese bread.
I just want bread.
I don't particularly care for most of the bread that we get around here.
I guess maybe we'll have to go get proper bread then. But I feel like that's what it does. It made me interested about bread baking, which is, despite me being a baker, it is all like, I don't do bread. I do not do yeast. Anytime I've tried it, it has gone horribly wrong. My kitchen is a mess. I've just wasted a bunch of time and resources. So it's like fun being able to kind of ride along with this because I know so many other people love making bread, and I think this is a perfect start to the Kraftwerks arc, because it's kind of shonen-y and it's fun and it feels like it has those tropes in it that we've seen in sports manga, but it's like, we are going to learn about making bread and making various breads and the specific ingredients and how the yeast works and all of that. Like,
I think it is important though to know that like Japanese bread is different. There's I don't know if it's in like the size of the air pockets or the difference in the wheat that's used or something like that.
Dairy or just the yeast things they have.
But I believe that traditionally, Japanese bread is sort of denser, but also lighter, which is sort of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But it's like the Japanese bread is more cake-like.
Cakey.
Than what we think of like when we're like, oh, we're having a sandwich on white bread. It's like, that's, and white bread is fine. And lots of people like it. Yeah. And, I enjoy.
I had a sandwich earlier today.
Yeah. I enjoy some toast from time to time. This is actually probably a couple months ago now, but my mom gave me some tomatoes and I toasted some bread and did bacon and lettuce and tomatoes and mayo on a toast. It was real good.
You're making me hungry.
But yeah, I see Japanese bread in various media, especially on YouTube. I see, because I watch a bunch of different Japanese food vlogger people. Yeah, Japanese bread, they just do something different with
Something about bread. Almost mostly unrelated, but I have to think about the beginning cutscene of the first Yakuza Like a Dragon where Ichiban's in prison and he tears the bread, and it's one of the most amazing. It's like, how did they animate the bread tearing? I've never seen that in literally anything else. Okay, back on track. Let's talk about Yakitate Japan. The family setup is fun. I like how they make such a specific point. Like, I guess one of my things was, you do not see old cadres like this in manga anymore.
Yeah,
they've kind of been, and it's like, are old people dying, or did somebody finally decide they weren't funny?
I was like, oh, Master Roshi, what are you doing here?
Yeah, he is just such an old, like, again, codger, cantankerous fuck. Like, he's just, like, I think if I saw a lot of him around at the time in other works, I'd be annoyed with him. But, like, he's like, wow, I have not seen old people like this in manga in a long time.
It was a lot
more
off-putting, because you start off and he's like, yeah, bread, cool. And then you do a flashback and you're like, wait, he's a dick. What the heck?
He's like, this sucks. None of this Western nonsense in my home. I think there's even, like, I, like, smoothed it over in the summary, but it's like, the sister calls her mom like mommy or mother, and he's like mama. It's like, that's Western. You don't do that. You call her Okasan, which, I mean, they'd probably just said mother in the the translation, but I don't even know if Okasan is what you'd call your mom properly in that case in Japanese. But like,
but yes, mama, like literally the way that English people say it, they will say mama, and that's like, no, that's disrespectful.
I know, because this man was in the war, I guess. But it was
even just Kasan.
It's played. This is. I guess I don't know if I'd call it a comedy, but this is totally a comedy.
Yeah, there's plenty of comedy bits in it.
Yeah, I would say so. But like, I mean, a lot of it was like, I don't even know if I'd say fully nostalgia, but it's like a lot of these tropes I have not seen in a while. I feel like to our last arc, I feel like this is a distant cousin by virtue of time period and tone to Biscuit Hammer.
Yeah. They were coming out at the same time.
Around the same time, whatever was in the air or the water or the bread, this was the vibe at the time. As was the style at the time. So it was like kind of fun seeing that as like a throwback, but in a way that didn't feel too old. It was just very like, I don't know, early 2000s is still like I'm always fascinated when I go back to that time in a manga and go like, I remember these tropes in my body, but I couldn't name where I saw them originally.
What was that? There was a 147 days in the beginning of the 2000s where everything was fine. From the time when Shrek was released until 9/11.
Oh, goodness. What a time. But now we're making bread. I thought the art was fine. I don't remember the art too much. It did its job clearly.
Standard.
We looked at bread.
Yeah.
There was bread. The bread looked... I think when I'm imagining the bread in my head, I get hungry, so I feel like it did its job.
It definitely was that early 2000s style. Remind me a little bit of iShield 21 in... Cosmo's character design.
Really?
The other characters not so much, but him specifically.
I need to look
I should
at that
say
again.
Him as a 6-year-old.
Even still.
When he's older, it doesn't really translate that.
You're
but
talking about the artist from One Punch Man.
Most of this chapter is a flashback. So
yes, but I like how they start you with like, okay, here he's going. It's literally one page. And they pick it up at the end and they move him forward. So it's not just like, it's a first chapter where you get to pick it back up and you do get to move the ball a little bit, but you get to move it into another cliffhanger that's interesting of like, oh, now he's doing this. But I think the setup of what he's doing is done really well. That forms his like, it's a family dynamic that like, I'm sure they will pop back up somehow in the future because they're just too fun to not come back to.
I hope so.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole thing is that he's leaving them, but it makes you then feel homesick. Like, I feel like because we're talking about, like, I hope we see them again, it's like, we have been induced homesickness within one chapter.
Yeah.
Which, like, good, again, I feel like I'm still got some wounds from those jump chapters we had to do. It's like, here's the thing where I was entertained, I was informed, and I got an emotional connection to the characters, their situation, and where they're going.
The only thing, because I think this chapter was really well paced. Sometimes I get annoyed by flashbacks. This didn't do that for me. I would have liked like one additional page before the flashback.
I disagree.
I feel like it was slightly too early.
Nope. I think it was just here's a quick thing of everybody likes bread now, so you don't have to worry. But then when you go back and you see Grandpa being an absolute asshole, you get to go, how did this turn around?
No, I think that's interesting. I agree with that.
I think you don't need more time in the beginning.
I don't need much more, just a little bit.
What would you want to see?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe
I know I've had that too, where I'm like, something needs to be here, but I don't know what it is yet.
Maybe what I wanted was a little bit before. Like I want to see a little bit more lead up to giving them the bread for breakfast. Maybe him taking it out of the oven or something like something to that degree.
Like showing him specifically baking it.
Yeah.
I do think there's supposed to be a little mysteriousness when they're just they're eating, but they're just declaring these numbers, and I think there's supposed to be a little confusion about what's going on. Like I think that's part and parcel to it. So.
It just the very beginning, and this isn't really detrimental to anything. Just the feeling that I have is that it was slightly too fast.
Okay,
but that's it. And the fact that it's not even enough to dock at any points. It's just the feeling that I had. Especially because the rest of it I felt was paced so well, especially like at the end, completing the flashback and then going, oh, he's here. There's going to be more to this. This isn't a one shot. And going, look, he's in the school. Look, this guy's a dick for docking and points for being slightly late.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it's not just, and he gets on the train, and this is the beginning of my story. But like, you still got that moment, but it's he gets to the school and he's already in hot water. Yeah. Like I like that you get there, you don't just get dangled, you get an actual taste of what's coming, and not just this open thing of like, I'm going to Tokyo to do bread things. Yeah. Like I loved that because it gave it such a firmer anchor into wanting to read more.
Right. And because like the entirety of the flashback felt like the right amount.
Yes.
Like, we didn't sit around too long.
Nope.
There wasn't really anything wasted. It was like, this is what Cosmo was like. This is what his sister's like. They went to this bakery. They had the bread. The baker showed him what to do. They tried to get the grandpa to like it because Cosmo likes it. Like, it all.
And they also put in the whole hands of the sun thing because there's that. It's I giggle about it now because it's like he's got the, and then it cuts off and it's like it's so whatever. But it's like I kind of love that. But like the fact that they can juggle all those things, that it's like what the baker's up to, the dynamic he has with his sister, the literal scientific I'm going to teach you act of making bread.
Yeah.
I just think it's impressive.
Short of the fact that they didn't give you any measurements, you could probably make bread from reading this chapter.
Yeah, or have a better sense of how to do it. I'm not going to. I've tried. I already did I'm going to try to make bread either earlier this year or late last year, and it continues to be, I cannot make bread. If it involves yeast, I'm not doing it.
The act of making bread is relatively simple and forgiving.
You think that.
But to make it and have it be good
No.
is
I
difficult.
can't make bread. It just doesn't work. I get it wrong every time. Or the rolling process. There's something I'm skimping on.
Well, don't roll
and other
it.
people.
You shouldn't roll your bread.
Well, no, when it's the whatever. Well, no, what about the hand when they're kneading it?
That's kneading.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's not rolling.
It's kneading, whatever. It's a rolling motion with my hands. Regardless, I guess it's just I get confused by that personal corner moment where it's just like I bake and I find baking very easy and I don't understand the majority of the things that I make how somebody could screw up baking because I'm literally following directions. Like I don't. But also I'm sure there's some people who just make bread and they don't think about it. And that just it makes it more. It's witchcraft to me. I don't understand it. I've tried and I'm following the directions and just it never happens.
I think baking is more difficult than you think it is.
I honestly think I'm following directions.
Baking well.
I'm literally following directions. There's
I understand.
Creative thought or
you,
problem solving involved.
If you get in and
I could program a robot.
We watched so much Food Network when I was young, and I watched food people on YouTube all the time. Like they're baking specifically, confectionery baking, desserts and stuff like that. There's so many minute details that go into making these things like perfectly. The fact that you can make cookies by just going, I'm putting this much ingredients in and I'm sticking it in my oven that says this temperature for this amount of time. The fact that those come out good all the time, there's a lot of luck involved.
There is. I've made those gotcha cookies, which I continue to need to rename GATCHA. But also because gotcha has gotten extra bad things because that's what people say for the anime girl picture casino game, whatever. So I extra really need to rename them. But like, I've made those things over a dozen times now throughout my lifetime, and we'll probably make it many dozens more. And I do swear that they come out slightly different every single time. And not even just that they're literally because different chips go into them. I mean, literally the size, the consistency, like sometimes it's like, oh, this first batch that went in was all wrong and I have no idea why. Like there is still a lot of seemingly luck with it, but by and large, like I just get it right.
Yeah, no, and that's great. But I think that has colored your perception of it. Because there's like the way that chemicals interact at certain temperatures and the ranges of the temperatures.
That's
and everything.
Bread making. Like, that's yeast.
No, but that's the thing.
It's a living thing expanding and having to kept at a particular temperature to do what it needs to do.
All baking is like that. But with bread specifically, you add in the additional part of a living thing.
The X factor.
Of the yeast.
Yes.
And that makes it even more difficult.
Yes.
So it's definitely something you can do. Bread makers actually make it pretty easy. I don't particularly like bread out of bread makers though, because it's a weird shape. I've never seen a bread maker that makes bread in a bread shape. It's always huge and square, and you're just like, I wanted bread shaped bread.
I've technically made banana bread, but I don't think that counts as much.
Yeah, that's more of a dessert.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm good at.
Also, banana bread's not fermented.
Also true. This is my point. It was very technically in a way that I didn't even like. At first I didn't like this tangent of talking about this, but I feel like I wanted, if we can, to continue this into the Kraftwerk's arc of like, this is the thing the manga is about and how we as humans us relate. So it's like, hey, person listening, if you have a story about making bread or a bread you like, put it in the comments, or more specifically, come to the Discord to talk to us about making bread. Like, every week we have these craft things. If you have some relation to these things, come share your stories. Talk to us about it. Like, I think we're going to try to do that.
Don't post pictures of the bread that you've made, though, because you're just going to make me hungry.
Do that. I'm really
And then I'll
hungry
be
right
upset
now.
that I can't have it.
Yeah. Well, let's try to get back to the manga. Where do we think this is going to go?
I do hope that they get back to the family in some degree, whether that's the family's going to come visit or something
Grandpa
like that.
visiting Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm
But
salivating at the comedy.
The big reason I say that is because, I mean, like you said, we got attached to the family. But it really seems like now that he's in Japan, in Tokyo, he's going to be in this school system or whatever the heck is going on, and the family will never be relevant again.
Maybe he writes to them in the interim? I love that. Just non-committal no.
That's not really what I would want, but
no, but I think they would
that'd be
visit.
better than
I don't want
nothing.
them around every chapter, but I would like them to visit. But yeah, maybe they just, or maybe his sister comes up. I don't know what she does. We don't really get to know what the family does. I don't think Grandpa's moving, but like, I mean, maybe for an arc he's in this sort of weird competition to, like, I don't know if it is the school or it's him getting into the school, or academy would probably be a better way to put it. I mean, I feel like he's going to get in, like, duh, but I don't think we're going to spend all of our time there. But it's like, I don't think I wrote down how long it was. Did I? I said how long it ran, but I don't think I actually got the chapter volume count in my notes.
I just had it pulled up. I think it's 200 and something chapters.
Okay. Like, I guess there's a bunch of different, because it's like you can spend time with a bunch of different, you can spend time with a bunch of different breads you can make, or techniques, or like, I like that it makes such a point of like this, there's so many nations have their bread that they are famous for, and Japan doesn't have that. And it's like, we could spend time learning those other ones. Maybe there's bakers from other countries that come in, there'll be competitions. It's like, it's the joy of, I feel like of all the things that we read, except for one other one, the sports manga structure can fit here.
Mm-hmm.
But did we read in Sports Arc, did we read a one-on-one sports thing?
I mean, there's Blue Box, badminton's sort of one-on-one.
But that wasn't sports. That was its own thing, and that wasn't a sport. That's a romance manga with sports elements, and not the other way around.
No, because we didn't do tennis. We talked about
wanting to do Prince of Tennis, but we didn't do it. So I'll find a way to sneak Prince of Tennis in, because we're not doing another sports arc. I don't want to do another arc of Brad going, this is pretty good. I don't care about sports. There's nothing to be learned there, but I think there's still some things to pick out that are in the sports genre that I still think we need to hit up. Hello, Prince of Tennis. Hello, Haikyuu. Hello, Future Boys arc next year, probably.
Does Prince of Tennis fall into that?
No, it's boy arc. We need boys arc. This is a boys arc. I mean, what are my normal go-to? Does he get a rival? Is there a bread-making rival? Like, who would be diametrically opposed to Japan? Because it's like he's trying to get into bread making, but he's already good at it. Like, how does he grow? But also, what does it mean to make Japan?
I don't think it would be someone who's against making bread. He's in a bread school.
No, but against
right?
Japan, it's like, oh, the superior French method or something like that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
racist, maybe.
Or maybe.
Or somebody who is or somebody who runs into his anti-bread, who is even more nationalistic than his grandfather. Or like some like food
that would have to be outside of the school.
Like,
then.
I guess maybe he gets his own cafe at some point.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of exciting things to do. Maybe we meet other people that like, he's got Hands of the Sun, but what if other people have other little special... I don't know how silly this could get. Well, still mostly being grounded, because we did say Hands of the Sun was real. But like, that's some of my favorite ones are ones that lean into just like a slightly more tuned up version of, no, this is an actual phenomenon people are aware of and know about, and is talked of in these corners and circles. So, but yeah, Yakitate Japan, but it's not. There's no dash in the title, I believe, in the localization.
No, but there should be.
I don't think there should be. I think you should lean into it. Though I do like I had this thought with another series that will be in this arc. I thought about it, and that one I think is better. But this one, where it was like the like one of the translation of Yakitate Japan was freshly baked Japan, and I think I never know. I mean, this is the big localization conversation: is how much of the Japan do you keep in it? How much of the Japanese? But honestly, I think like Yakitate Japan maybe is more like it. I mean, it's fun to say, but like I think freshly baked. I feel if you did freshly baked Japan, you'd put the dash in.
You'd have to.
But I think that's a cooler. I think that's a better title. But I'm also an English speaker, and Yakitate is just
or maybe it's
nonsense to me.
A dessert like baked Alaska.
What? Oh, that's what he learns is
freshly baked Japan.
Freshly jaked Bapan.
Freshly baked Alaska.
Sure, fine, whatever. I don't know. Something to add. Let's. I'm going through my Shonen Rolodex. Love interest? Does his sister just beat him up more?
Probably. There's probably.
Will there be a girl?
There always
not
is.
Even romance. Will there be a girl?
There better be.
He's got to use those hands on something.
I didn't see any girls in the shot of everybody at the school.
Hi, welcome to this arc. Unintentionally, except for the last one. A lot of disrespect of women in this arc. Unintentionally. One in particular.
One in particular. Series, so.
Not this. I don't think this one's in particular, but just a lot. Yeah, no, actually, to respect women. Yakitate Japan doesn't not respect women.
You didn't know this, but this was secretly the misogyny arc.
The misogyny arc. I didn't know that when I was putting it together until we read them all, and I sat down thinking about it now. The secret, the way that sometimes I have a secret, this is the secret misogyny arc. So maybe that we'll try to remember to keep that rolling through it. But don't worry, it gets capped off with a very not misogyny story. It'll make you feel better.
Anti-misogyny.
Very anti-misogyny. Yeah. Well, the other one is, but it has a lot of misogyny. There's another one that's anti-misogyny, but there's a lot of misogyny in it they have to deal with.
So we specifically have said, like, we're not going to spoil stuff. We're not going to spoil what we're going to cover.
But I dangled it.
Generally speaking. Sometimes we do. I wonder if anybody can guess what the last episode of this arc is going to be.
I wonder if anybody can guess any of them except the one that will come out next. I think the next one, I'm assuming we're going to release these in recording order. I think the next one with Understanding Kraftwerks, I think the next one could be guessed fairly easily. I don't think anybody's going to guess the other ones.
Well, come on our Discord and let us know.
Yes, talk us about bread and what else you think is going to be here, and maybe it'll give us ideas for next time. I feel like there was two that I'll talk about them now because I'm not going to remember talking about them for the next time. Things that we had in here that I cut. Tales of a Charcoal Burner, because I wanted something that was a very of the earth sort of like work with your hands thing. But anytime I tried to read it, it was way too dry. This is charcoal. No. And it just was like not... I'm sure historically talking it was interesting, but there was not enough story going on that it's like there's nothing to discuss here. Like it just was not interesting in the way that we could talk about it to make an episode that would be, I think, meaningful. And the other one that I thought would have fit, and I think was a good idea, because I think, Brad, you said it, but when I tried to read it, the site it was on was awful, full of ads, very hard to read, but also it was just like, oh, I should just watch the anime again.
Yeah.
Was Hands Off My Izukun, which is about making anime, and is honestly perfect for Kraftwerk's arc. But just the manga, even though it came first, was just like, it's just the anime, but it's not. It's a manga. It looks the exact same, and it's just like it just looks worse because it's not the anime, which is incredible. We'll just watch the anime. I don't know. Bonus episode. We watched the first episode.
We keep talking about bonus episodes, and then we haven't recorded any.
We're busy. Nobody talks to us about them afterwards, so I don't think I want to do them. But regardless, if they're not those two things, feel free to suggest. I'm sure there's some others that I poked my head into and didn't think about, but if there's other things that I didn't think about, I'm always on the hunt for other craft stuff. I like that. So, unless you have anything closing to say, Brad, are you ready for Thinky Thinks and Feely Feels?
I think I am.
Yeah.
Moxie, I think this is great.
I would agree. I think it's doing everything right. I think it's doing it does everything. It did what I thought. It does what it says on the tin. It
made me interested in bread.
Yeah. Talking about it made me want to try again. It made me hungry. I guess that's what it needs to do, is it makes me want to either do the thing, take in the craft that's being done either myself or the output of it from somebody else doing it.
I felt connected to all the characters. Yep. I didn't feel like it took too long or was too fast. Like,
or it was too just dry with its information. Like it juggled everything very well. Everything was very well the amount of ingredients was very well balanced.
It's such a good first chapter.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. It's such a great first chapter.
Thank you. I know. I mean, a good manga is not necessarily a good first chapter, as we found.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel? You said that's how you think. I'm assuming the
same. That's what I think. Yeah. On a technical scale.
How do you feel, though? You said think. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I feel great.
I think I'm in agreement. I think it's I think it's great. I feel it's great, closer to good, but still in great territory. And I think that just comes down to, even though it did everything I liked, when I think about it, and like, I'm trying to be more realistic with my feeling rankings, and it's like, I mean, I do want to read more of it, but it's like, I'm bad at bread making, and I don't know.
For me, I was like halfway through it, and I was like, oh, this is good. I could say, great to good. Like, I was feeling positive on it, but not necessarily like, I definitely got to read more of this. Yeah. And then it got to the end, and that fucking asshole's 5 points docked, and I'm like, shit.
Yes. and then justice to be fought at the end is what you need.
I have to read this.
I have my new answer. I have my better gimmick answer. I think it's great. I feel hungry.
Hungry for more.
I'm hungry for more, both in I want to eat bread right now, and also it's like, I honestly could read more of this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's super high on the list. I have other things that are like, I'm learning now, but besides what I'm keeping up with in Jump and Jump Plus, it's like, I have my one series I'm working with. If I try to go and shotgun blast it, then I don't read anything meaningfully. So
this,
But Yakitate Japan would meaningfully be on my manicured bookcase of things I would go to.
I am gonna spoil stuff a little bit. This is easy to tell to begin with, but every single one of these that I read, I immediately wanted to keep reading more.
I mean, I try to pick solid ones, but for various reasons. But yeah, I would say this is a fairly strong arc. Sometimes, I mean, it's when we do arcs based on a genre parentheses quotations, we can then just go cream of the crop and not just what generally fits it. But also sometimes that could just be, this is a topic or a manga that was popular that we just didn't like, or just didn't fit one of our particular tastes or levels of quality or interest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you never know. So, would you buy to keep reading? I would say yes. And by which I mean I'm going to go and spend money to go eat bread when we take our break. But also I want to keep reading it.
I think I would spend $12 for a volume of this.
I would buy. Okay, no, I was about to say I would buy like a multi-case of it, because I guess it's a lot of volume.
I'm as positive as I am on this, I am still hesitant of the longevity.
Truth.
So I would definitely buy the first volume, at which point, I mean, I would think by the end of the first volume, I would be know like, more.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
yeah. I agree with that. I don't know what thought I was trying to have of, maybe it's just the time period it came out that it made me want to read it physically. Like, there's a certain nostalgia about it, because like this is around the time that I started reading manga in junior high, even if I had never seen or read any of Yakitate Japan. It just feels like a very cozy readout on my deck, one in particular.
I do want to read things physically. I think because I don't have a good...
Brad, we got to go to the library. I keep forgetting about Last tells us to go to the library. Yeah.
I don't have a good reading nook in my house. And so when I think about reading something physically, it's like, I don't want to sit at my computer desk.
Yeah, you do not sit at your desk to read a book.
But like, that's my spot. So
make another spot.
I wish.
Well, the weather's good. You could go outside, but I know you're also not always a fan of outside. So, we do not need to high noon. We are in incredible agreement now. No. What bread do you most want to eat?
Throw bread at each other.
Are we just gonna go get sandwiches? What's another bread thing I could eat?
Oh,
that's like very like clearly a pizza.
No.
I
mean, sandwiches. Yeah.
A burger? No. I think it's a sandwich.
Yeah.
I just don't know what sandwich yet.
Where?
Yeah, that's what I'm. I mean, that's a more of a conversation for afterwards. I don't think people need to. I don't want to dox myself with the restaurants that are nearby.
Because I mean, we've got like a Panera around here, but I don't.
Oh God, no! Fuck off!
I don't know that we actually have any like actual
bakery?
bakeries.
We should. Whatever. Let's talk about this later. I'm too hungry and we have another thing to record before that.
If there's a bakery, we should go to a bakery.
I would agree with that.
Not for dinner, but just to
also,
get some
yes,
bread.
in general, just to get some bread to just munch on. It's not like the Giant or something.
You said you weren't going to dox us.
There's a Giant nearby. Wow. Slowly zeroing in Eastern Seaboard. But yeah, Brad, hit me with them plugs. Put me in the oven. Make the yeast rise or whatever.
Put my hands all over you.
All over me, all over you. I don't know.
Well, as always, we need to thank Sugoi Mart. Sugoi Mart's a retailer of Japanese snacks, drinks, toys, and merch. You can't get outside of Japan. Our listeners can click the link in the description.
Now you want to say Japan, don't you?
No, I don't. Our listeners can click the link in the description or use code APR15 at checkout to get 15% off their first order. More importantly, we want to hear from you. You can find all of our social media links on our website, animepodcasterreincarnation.com. We have links to various things as well as episode posts where you can leave comments up there. But the best place to talk with us is on our Discord. Jump on our Discord and talk to us about all kinds of stuff. We've got a lot of good discussions going recently about all of the different shows. Shonen Jumping the Gun, Heroin Addiction. It's good stuff. You can also find a link up there to our Patreon. Our patrons get perks like getting the high-quality stereo version of the podcast early, bonus episodes when we get around to doing that, probably pretty soon, as well as getting to vote on what we cover on heroin addiction. I think by the time this comes out, the last heroin addiction poll will be finished, but get signed up for the next time. And of course, we have to shout out our patrons. So, first and foremost, at our noble tier, we have our marquee, Sir Cake Dwarf.
Ba, 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 ba. It was almost Jurassic Park. I couldn't help myself. That's like all I keep going back to now. I was like, copyright, can't do it again. Got to be something different. Fake it.
Also at our noble tier, we have Count Imaginary Numeral.
Ba, 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 ba.
I'm just going to stick with that one.
It's a good one. That's what shows up in my brain. So,
at our Reincarnator tier, we've got Moon. And last, and certainly not least, at our Commoner tier, we've got Rena, Last Man on Earth, and Laura Carroll. So thank you so much to all our patrons.
Thank you, Brad, for that. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, our patrons, as always. And, man, I think bread's my favorite. I could honestly eat it for every meal. I mean, I could just eat it all the time without even stopping.
I mean, you'd get fat.
Why would I get fat?
Bread makes you fat.
Bread makes you fat? Kazuma likes the rice they eat. Bread makes his mouth dry. Who? Wrong answer. Wait, why did I...
I don't know what that means.
What do I mean by that? Did I mistype?
Who? Wrong answer. Kazuma's sister...
Oh, okay. I get my wording. My wording could be... I could have been more clear, Brad.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It should have been one sentence.
Kazuma likes the rice they eat. Bread makes his mouth dry. Wrong answer.
Kazuma's sister says, and ties him to... Yeah, I'm going to run that all again. When I was trying to Google it to get the entire exchange and not just bread makes you fat, there was somebody on Reddit going, why does everybody think this line is so funny? And I'm like...
Because it is.
Because he's an idiot. Like, obvious, like, bread, like, you can't just eat fucking garlic bread all the time. Like, I mean, like... It shows to Scott's very boyish nature, even though he's in his 20s.
All right. Anything else you need to... stick after the beams?
I'd like a bar, drink tender.